What's up, and welcome back to Opposites Attract Podcast. This is Sonja Ramirez, your girl, and I'm sitting next to
Miguel Ramirez.
What's up, everybody? How is your day?
How was your week?
How is your life?
Going. And today, this episode is brought to you by us again. Because we are the sponsors of the show. So make sure you guys go to oppositesattractpodcast.com, share it with the people that you know. You'll be able to see our social media there. You can follow it there. You can also watch the podcast and listen to it there. You can also give us a call and send us your questions. If you guys want to send us a message, you can call us at 480-331-9846. That's a little bit different to say than the one that we've been saying for so long. But yeah, you guys can send us a message there and we'll play it on the show. If you guys have a question, we'll play it and we can talk about it and discuss it here. And we're also brought to you by Trust Inc. And Trust Inc. is?
We are a nationwide mobile notary agency and signing agency. So if you are in the process of purchasing, selling, or refinancing your home, you can request Trust Inc. to be your signing agency.
And you can go to Trust Inc. directly by going to trustinkusa.com. It's all throwing me off doing this in the beginning.
I know, me too.
And you can also find our Amazon link by going to the support the show link on our website. And you can also, anything that you purchase on Amazon isn't going to cost you anything extra, but it'll help out the show. And you can find our merch, our t-shirts, pop sockets, phone cases, if you search Opposites Attract Podcast on Amazon. And we're also affiliates with Pinwheel, which is the best smartphone available for kids. And we can get a little bit more into that later. But if you guys want to check it out, go to pinwheel.com. You can use promo code OAPTEN all together, all in caps. And if you can't wait, just go check out their website, pinwheel.com, and you can see the best phone available for kids out there.
There you go.
And buymeacoffee.com/oppositepod if you guys want to buy us a coffee.
Or a beer.
Or a beer.
As you can see, Miguel is.
Any of that. This is my last beer. This is my last beer.
I like the bottle. It's cute.
It should, whatever. The beer is whatever. It'll get you drunk. I was expecting better. You know, they got me with their gimmick bottle.
Yes.
And then when I tasted it, I was like, yeah, this is fucking regular ass beer.
You know, all those Coors, Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, all of those taste the same to me.
And they have one job: to get you fucked up.
Oh my goodness. Is that why you drink?
Yeah. Well, for the taste. I mean, I guess as you get older, you like the taste. Because at first it's not. You know, at first it's like, beer is gross. And then little by little, as you get older, it's like, you know what? I could go for a freezing cold beer. Sometimes that sounds good, right?
Yeah, especially if you are having a slice of pizza or eating some chicken wings.
All right. Enough with that.
What do you mean?
We're trying to freaking do better. We're sitting here starting out the show with pizza and chicken wings.
I am doing better.
We have been doing better.
Yes. I have been waking up 5:30 Monday through Friday, going to this kickboxing class and boxing class. It's no joke, man.
Yeah.
It is no joke. Like, I thought, okay, am I ever going to stop being sore? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, is this ever going to stop? So I'm just like at it, in it, and doing it. And,
are you still sore?
And I still get sore, but that's good because it just means that it's not routine. You know, she's not working the same muscles every day. It's always something different.
Yeah.
You know, so on one day we'll work out our legs, upper body, lower body. Sometimes she'll combine it, and your body's just always guessing. Which is really good.
So at first you guys were doing, was it just punching, or has it always been punching and kicking? Monday
through Wednesday it's kickboxing, and then Thursday and Friday, or no, I got that backwards. It's boxing.
So they do both. They do both. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. But before that, we're like doing P90X.
Yeah.
You know, for half an hour, 35 minutes. And then you get into the boxing.
Yeah. That's good.
You know, so it's nuts. Yeah, it's a great workout.
How are you feeling with it?
I'm feeling good. I love it. I enjoy it. I'm getting the combos, you know, finally.
Yeah.
So I'm more confident. I'm now learning, though, how to kick properly, right? Because there's a certain way to kick.
Yeah.
And if you continue to just keep doing it incorrect, you're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
So
And it's not a natural thing.
there's a technique to it. And so I'm just getting down that technique. I got the boxing technique down pretty good. Look at me.
Look at you. You're an expert already.
Right? Like, look at my
With the
head. Look at
head
my head.
movement.
Ooh. No.
You're like a bobblehead. Try to hit me.
But the kick, now it's, focusing on the technique when it comes to kickboxing.
Yeah. We'll talk about somebody that
So I don't throw my back out. Ooh, my back. Oh, my neck and my back. That was Miguel after jiu-jitsu for the first time. He came back beat up.
All right.
Like he looked like he had two black eyes. I can't move my neck.
I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you guys see it? You can, Sonja will edit this video. You can zoom in on my black eye and the scratch on my nose.
But he's like, I can't
though.
move. I can't move. I'm like, how'd you do? No, I asked him first, how did the kids do? And he's like, better than me.
You know what I was? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You know what? And I was thinking, I was like, how did I do? And I was like, not good.
But
then
not bad.
But I was like, but not bad.
Yeah, when you said that,
I was like, I didn't get
look
destroyed.
Look at you being positive.
I was like, but it wasn't good either. Oh my God.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so irritating because you have been going to jiu-jitsu consistently for quite some time, right? And then all of a sudden we either go out of town, something happens that throws off the consistency, and now it's not your priority, right? So it's any excuse will do, right?
Yeah.
But in the back of your mind, you're beating yourself up because you know what you should be doing, right?
Oh,
where you should be going.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Because there's guys that never left.
Right.
And then when you roll with them, it's a little bit different.
Right. And then you go back and it's like you're a blue belt. At least that's what it shows.
Yeah. And I'm getting.
But how do you feel?
I'll tell you. This is how I feel. This is how I felt. That was my neck. I'm freaking sitting there, like first day. Oh, and this is what was even better. So usually, it's class. Like we'll have. I think there's a tournament this weekend. That explains it. So I think
you started the wrong week, buddy.
This is the second time that I fell out of jiu-jitsu for a little bit, and then I come back right before they're training for a tournament. And that's pretty much how it goes. When you show up when everybody's training.
They're using you as the dummy.
But no. I mean, it's me. It's just if you're not used to it and you're not in shape, like your body will let you know.
See, but this is how you know you're getting old, right? This is how you know. Yep. This is how you know you're getting old. The kids come back and they're all bouncing.
Yeah, I'm asking them. I was like, how do you guys feel? They're like, we're good.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Miguel's like,
shit.
I can't move my neck. Matter of fact, I got our power tool. What is that called?
The vibrator thing? Not that one.
No, not that one. But yeah, I was massaging you with that gun. It was so bad. And then the following morning, I see you and you're like, I ask you a question and you turn your whole body to answer the question. Yeah. Dude, because you're stuck.
I went back on Friday and I tell Coach, I was like, Coach, I can't move my neck. And he starts laughing. I told him that I was about to throw up and everybody's just laughing. And I'm like, whatever. It is what it is. Like, what am I going to do? Like, I've been out. I'm out of shape and you guys can clearly see that.
See, but it is what it is. And that's where, like with me, myself, that's the last podcast. I'm like, what really sucks is how much weight I have lost, right? Yeah. And I was at and it's not about losing weight, even though I do, you feel more confident. You feel good when you are where, you're supposed to be, right? But for me, it's more, now I focus on the health side of it, the benefit of working out, right? And being more flexible, because the older you get, if you're not stretching and you're not working out, you're going to break a hip. You fall. For real. Like your bones become brittle. You're not as flexible, and so you got to work on these things so that you can prepare, for the years to come.
We owe. That's why. That's why.
You know, and then you just focusing on the core, which is super important once you get up there in age, you know, your back.
It's funny because you're talking about, this is the opposites in the Opposites Attract podcast. Because you're sitting there talking about how like your motivation now is health.
To be healthy. Yeah.
It's not so much like I need to look good. It's like, what am I putting into my body? Like I want my body to be healthy. I want, you know, life is precious kind of thing. Right.
Right.
And I was telling you like a week ago, it's like, you know what? I need to get in shape. We also need to start a garden in the back. And we also need to do some things to prepare ourselves. I was like, I need to be harder to kill. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the two different sides of it.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I mean,
and the kids, us doing, you know, what we're doing, they see us.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a time where you're fucking crazy.
That's
like
the
you were freaking doing pull up, like you were just nuts, right?
Yeah, I need to get back to that.
Yeah, you were over the top.
Not to that.
It's hard to be consistent when you're crazy. Like when you're like nonstop.
Okay. Hold on.
Just out of your mind, you know.
Okay, so if you're not somebody that I was thinking about that recently, and maybe I need work on the balance part, right? Because I fall off and then I get back on and it's fucking nuts. Like it's just on. And I mean, I have videos like day after day after day at 4:00 in the morning, just fucking up, running through fucking storms. Like it didn't matter.
Right.
But which path is better than the other?
Well,
so
I would have to say neither.
There's one clear.
I would have to say neither because you can't stay consistent being that way.
No, you can't.
You will fall off.
What I'm saying, no, you can't stay consistent. But I was kind of thinking about it the other day. It's just like, I obviously mentally need to work on my balance. I think that's something that we work on till we die, or everybody works on, right?
Yes.
But if I'm going to be imbalanced in one direction or the other, I might as well get imbalanced in this direction and figure it out.
Oh, yes. I see what you're saying.
Instead of like falling apart on this side and trying to figure it out.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yep. It's just, it is finding that balance. And not only that, it is finding that balance because like I've been eating healthy Monday through Friday. Well, last night Adriana and I, we had a mom and daughter date. And we can get into that. But, you know, after all the shopping we did and, you know, the time we spent together, we were hungry and you were out with Joey. So it was too late for me to come home and make dinner because I've been focusing on cooking every day.
Yeah.
You've noticed that, right?
Yeah, we've been eating
we
better.
have not been going out to eat. I've been cooking. And so normally, this is what a schedule I set in my own head is Saturday is when we can go out to eat.
So today.
Right? Right.
Okay.
But last night we had so much going on. So her and I went out to eat and I didn't eat a lot. I ordered 2 tacos. I ate one. I brought one home for you. I didn't eat the other. But I was wanting ice cream. Like I was wanting ice cream. So with that, I decided that I was going to treat myself to some ice cream. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of what I've been focusing on is listening to my body, you know, like just listening to my body. If I want an ice cream, it's okay to have some ice cream. You asked me, would you like a medium or large? I should have said a small, but you didn't give me that option. So I took the medium.
Oh, so it's my fault.
Because if you would have said, would you like a small, medium, or large? I would have probably chose the small.
Yeah.
But because you didn't give me that option,
nice.
I took the
I
medium.
think we've talked about ownership on the show once or twice before.
Hey, that made me feel better. And not only that, I shared some with you. So maybe it was a small because you ate some of mine. And that also makes me feel better.
Nice.
But it is having that balance. You know, like if you've been working hard, you know, for the week, you know, if you deserve, you know, to have some ice cream or a hamburger. But it's, you know, it's like, okay, do you want a Big Mac? Yes. Do you want the the large, the oversized, or do you want the smaller or the medium? I mean, take the small.
Yeah. And we don't have to get into it, but I think everybody kind of knows inside when you're overdoing it and when you're making excuses like, "Ooh, I earned a extra large, whatever." And it's like, you didn't work that hard this week.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think we all kind of know inside.
And with the kids, like, I talk to them about it as well. And that's the thing. It's like being a parent, your kids are watching and listening to everything you say, but more so watching what you say and what you do.
Yeah.
Right? Because Joey, to him, he's like, Mom, you promised. I'm like, you lie, because I don't promise. I will tell you that we can go and buy you that gun today, but I did not promise that. But I did give you my word. So let's do it. And that's how he works. Like, he is. Yeah, he won't. He is that way. He wants you to keep his word. Your word. And if we say we're going to be working out and eating better, like, they're watching. They're paying close attention. Yeah. To if we're going to stick by what we said we were going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but we're getting on track, right? Mm-hmm. And it's been going good. And one thing so I went back to jiu-jitsu on Wednesday, and like I said, when I got there, it's funny because it's so normally we have some warm-ups, right? And then we have some instruction, and we practice some of the moves that we're being taught. And then at the end of the class, the last 15, 20 minutes or whatever, then maybe we'll roll for a little while. Or sometimes the instruction goes a little bit longer and we'll roll for a little bit less, and then people stay later and keep, sparring. Mm-hmm. But Wednesday we show up and it was like, all right, warm up a little bit and everybody just start fighting. And those days are fun, but they're tough and especially when people are getting ready for a tournament, it's just like people are practicing their moves and they're practicing them on you, and that's when you hear bones cracking and stuff like that. But then I came back home, and that night, like, when you've been out for a while and you go back, especially to a night like that, and like my neck is hurting. I feel my knees hurting a little bit. Not hurting, but I can feel
it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, like I've been doing stuff, right? Mm-hmm. I feel sore. And for a moment there, like I realized that the time that I spent at jiu-jitsu, because I always help with the kids class, like helping with the kids class and then, doing my own class and then rolling for a little while. Like, I forgot about everything in that moment.
What's everything?
Everything. Like, lately, I think both of us, like, we're just, I mean, I know for sure I've been in my head a lot, just thinking about all the different things, like work and the businesses, the podcast, the relationship, just everything that's happening. And it doesn't stop. It's like from the time my eyes open till the time I go to bed. And I kind of realized, like, what I almost forgot that part of jiu-jitsu where you get to turn everything off. Mm-hmm. Cause you just, like, you think that, like, yeah, I'm thinking about defending or I'm thinking about doing these things. And yeah, you are, but your mind is just like not on anything but what you're doing. And then when you look back at it, it's like your mind was really kind of clear for that moment. Even though you were still doing something, your mind was kind of cleared out and you couldn't, like, it's like a break, almost like a form of meditation.
Well, that's what I was going to tell you, especially for your personality type, meditation or learning jiu-jitsu, like jiu-jitsu could be a form of that, of just being able to let go. I think that it's very important for us, especially in the times that we're living in. There's always something going on. There's so much going on in this world. There's so much confusion. There's so much distrust and government with everything that's happening right now, that we need some type of meditation, not even a
distraction, but
just to let go. And just it's figuring out what works for you.
And it's different because, like, working out, I don't think would have the same effect, because I mean, for some people working out does, I mean, it's that release for them. But when you're working out, you can still listen to music.
Right.
You can still listen to a podcast. You can watch a video.
Right.
You can't do that in jiu-jitsu. I mean, maybe once I don't even know. I don't even know what the black belts think about when they're choking the shit out of us. You know, they're like, I wonder what's for dinner. And they just strangle the shit out of you. For me, it's not like that. Right. I'm thinking about one thing and one thing only, you know, and that's just what we're doing right then in the moment.
Right. Yeah. For me, it's not getting choked out. For me,
right.
It's
that's
journaling.
What it is for me too.
For me, it's using my bowl, right?
Yeah.
Or for me, it's using my vibrator. Or for me,
oh man, you gotta tell me.
I have many different ways to release. Kickboxing, boxing is another one for me because I'm not thinking about anything while I'm working out. Because we have music, but I'm not zoned into the music.
Yeah.
You know, like I can zone that out. It's just different. And a lot of times
it's hard to think about anything else, at least at my level or when we're doing jiu-jitsu. You know, it's the only thing. So your mind gets to get cleared of everything else. But one other thing that I was going to say is we've talked about it on here before, and I think it's been a while, but just like playing these games with yourself. And I kind of did it. And one of the things kind of like we were saying, building those habits and going in the opposite direction, like which habit is better? Falling off the path or being freaking an insane maniac on the path? It's probably the other one's probably better, being on the path and then figuring out the balance from there. But there's these games that we can play to kind of like the game of building a habit. Once you build a habit, you don't want to break the habit and you want to keep it going. So I was taking notes for the podcast, and obviously going back to jiu-jitsu, I was going to put that in the notes. But then I knew that there was also a chance, or like I'm going to go, or I should go another day before the end of this week. So I should really go to jiu-jitsu twice before we record the next one. So when I went to jiu-jitsu the first time, I put it in my notes, but then I also put in there that I went twice before I ever went the second time. You know, and it's one of those things, I was like, whatever happens, I'm not changing this note in my, you know what I mean? So it's like either I do it or I'm going to talk about it. And, you know, but it's what helps me motivate
holding
to keep
yourself
going. Yeah,
accountable to go. And because I have seen you stressing these past weeks, like, that's something that I'm like, hey, are you going to jiu-jitsu today? Because I know that that's something that helps you to stay aligned and to help you, stay balanced.
Yeah. So no, and it's good. And but I was gonna say like I'm back, but it's kind of hard
to say that, right?
It's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard. So I'm not gonna say shit.
Yep.
Because if you say something, sometimes you can't take it back. So. Who knows? After I've been going at it for, a couple months, then I can be like, yeah, I'm back. I'm doing it. I'm on the path again. But I've been there twice.
Right. And that's something that you and I, with everything else, we've been pretty disciplined when it comes to staying, being debt free, our parenting, continuing to learn how to become better parents. Focusing on our marriage, how to be a better partner, listening to audiobooks, talking to each other, those foundations have always remained pretty solid. We may fall off
or get imbalanced.
Not really. Not with parenting. I mean, there's times where we'll be talking to the kids and, the stresses of life, we let it get the best of us and we'll respond in a different way that we normally wouldn't respond, but we apologize. Like, we're pretty much solid when it comes to those paths, I feel, anyway.
Yeah.
But
until the next episode.
But when it comes to health and fitness, that is our main struggle, where we just have not been able to stay on that path. It's been an up and down struggle since, we've been together. So, the thing of, we know each other, and we can hold each other accountable and kind of help each other stay on track, because you and I, we love our ice cream. We love our desserts. We enjoy food. And a lot of times we connect when it comes to.
So when I see Sonja eating something that she's not supposed to be eating, since her motivation is to be healthy, I'm going to be like, do you know what's in that? You can't even spell the shit that's in that. That is so bad for you. It is not organic, this and that. And when she sees me picking up some bullshit, she's going to be like, ooh, that's going to make you easier for somebody to sneak up on. You're going to be too fat and too slow, and they're going to take you out.
I wouldn't say that.
And I'll be like, but, fuck, I'm going to put that down, start doing some push-ups.
But last night when I came home and I said, I want a peanut butter.
Oh yeah,
what is it? The peanut butter
buster from Dairy Queen.
When I mentioned that, you did not say a word. You did not say, "Are you sure that's what you want?" You said nothing. But now, you're like, "I'm going."
All right.
No. But what made you? What made you not? Kind of question me.
Because I wanted ice cream too.
Come on, man. Really?
Yeah. Like, you
didn't feel that I deserved that? You knew I've been working out Monday through Friday.
Well, yeah.
So it had nothing to do with, she deserves this. It's okay.
No.
She can have a peanut butter.
That's what I was thinking too. But my first thought was I want ice cream too.
And that's exactly how we get off our path and start gaining weight together.
Thought number one was I want ice cream too. Thought number two was, she's been working for it. She earned it. She earned that ice cream.
Shut up, you liar.
But the first thought is like, I could go for some ice cream.
But after I asked him, I did say, well, I could have ate both tacos, but I didn't. I only had one, and I brought you the second one. So, you know what? It's okay. I'm going to eat this ice cream, and I'm going to feel okay when I'm eating it. And I didn't feel regret. I wasn't beating myself up, because I know, like, you know what? You've been doing good. It's all right. It's having that balance and listening to your body. And when your body says you are full and it's enough, you need to step back.
Yeah. Listen to your body and your brain. If your brain's telling you that you're bullshitting yourself, then don't do it.
Right.
And if your body's telling you you've had enough, it's enough.
That's it.
But so everybody knows that stuff. Yes. But real quick, before we move on to something else, the other thing with jiu-jitsu that happened was I went back the second day for for the second time this week. And while I was there, one of the kids told me that I missed them getting a new belt.
Aww.
And that sucked. They were like, hey, Coach Miguel. There was a couple kids. Hey, Coach Miguel. And one of the girls, she's like, hey, I got a new belt. She's like, she gave me a face. She was like, you missed me getting a new belt. And I'm like, aw. But, yeah.
Yeah. So yesterday, as I mentioned, Audrey and I've missed her because I've been working a little late on some of the days, and I've just been busy, and she's in track. So we haven't really spent that quality time together.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just missing her. I mean, and so I'm like, I'm going to take her, she's outgrown a lot of her shorts. So I'm going to take her. We're going to go do some shopping and then grab something to eat. And so her and we had a really good time together and just laughing and singing. And it's so funny because I look at her and I see me. I see a softer me. She is me today. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Meaning, the past me was not so soft. The soft me, the past me wasn't spiritual. The past me, I was loving, but I was very cautious.
Yeah.
That's I was very cautious to let people in.
That reminds me of what I was talking to Joey about.
But the woman that I am today, she is a younger version of that woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's cool just to, look at her after we got done shopping, and, she's like, thank you, Mom. Thank you for, taking me shopping. Thank you for buying me. So I'm starting to see the gratitude a lot now, more often. That's good. Versus just feeling entitled. Like,
that's one of the most important and the hardest things like that parents worry about Is like trying to figure out how to teach these kids gratitude, like being grateful, especially when you come from something where you have to earn your stuff. And now that, we've talked about it on here before, how things are easier to get. You buy 5 packs of everything, and yeah, like showing kids that it's not like this all the time. You have to appreciate, what you have.
Right. And she ordered a book on Amazon and it came in. And I loved this. I was tired and I hadn't spent much time with you. This was the other day. And I wanted to spend some time with you. But she had asked me, she's like, Mom, she's like, come with me in my room. And she grabs me, she grabs my hand and she's like, come on. She's like, I want to read to you.
Yeah.
And how do you say no to that?
Yeah. No, you got to take that.
And I look at you and I know that you've been wanting to spend time with me because you and I haven't really spent any time together.
Yeah.
But I see you spending time with Joey. So I'm like, oh, it's good. It's okay. I'm going to take this time. So we're sitting on her bed and this is a poetry book, right? It's a healing book. Healing Words is the name of the book. And it talks a lot about this young girl. Well, her younger self, that's what it is. And she's talking about her teenage years and how dark and how lonely she was and what she did in order to survive. Yeah. And she talks about how a lot of her friends weren't strong enough to survive those years and how she lost some of her friends. But these are some of the things that she did, and talking about a single flower and the meaning of the single flower and the sun. And it's a very good book, but I'm sitting there and I'm looking at her as she's reading to me and I'm just admiring this beautiful girl that we created.
Yeah.
And she's so, I know she knows a lot. I know that she... More
than what you think she knows?
Right. But she opens up to me and she tells me the things that she does know, right?
That's good.
Because she's like, Mom, I know a lot of things that you don't think I know.
Dude, what about just asking them? Like, hey, what is something that you don't think that I know that you do know?
Right.
And if your kids are, like, thinking about it now, I think if we were to ask them that, I don't think they would really have a big... I mean, maybe some of the things that...
No,
But, it kind of lets you know if they would let you know some stuff.
Right. But you have to build on that relationship. You're not just going to go after not really talking to your kids.
No, that's what I'm saying. We can do that because we've worked on it. Right, because
we've built that relationship with them, that trust, and we're
involved.
Yeah, letting them know that it's okay and that we're here to support them and love them regardless. But like I said, your actions speak louder than words. So when they come to you about something and if you jump on them, they're going to be like,
yeah,
that's not how you said you would respond. Right.
Yeah.
And this is a good example. So yesterday while we're driving, she's like, Mom, what's an open relationship mean? I'm like, why are you asking me this, Audrey? Right? Like,
where is this coming from?
Right.
You're 12.
And she's like, well, this little boy that was dating my friend, I know their names, but I'm not going to throw them out there, had asked my friend if they can have an open relationship. And I wasn't quite sure what that meant. But my friend ended up, breaking up with him. And I'm like, well, all that means is that you guys, that they can date other people. Like they can see other people. That's how I said it. She's 12. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're not going to start breaking it down.
They're not doing bumping nasties anyway. Yeah. I hope not.
No.
Anyways.
No.
Dude, she was testing me to see if I would tell her the truth
of what an open relationship is.
Yeah.
What, like people having sex with other people?
Well, that's not an open relationship. No, I didn't tell her like that.
Oh, I was like, I thought she was coming back at you like what an open relationship is,
she's
Mom.
She's like, well, Mom, she's like, I kind of knew what it meant. She's like, I just wanted to see if
you would tell her what it meant.
You would tell me, and if you would tell me the right, like the real deal. And so, it's her way of telling me like she knows
Yeah.
You know, and she tells me, she's like, Mom, you know, even though I'm in 7th grade, there are kids that they're having sex. You know, they're vaping, they're doing this, they're doing that, you know. So she lets me know that even though she's young, like there are kids her age that are doing things. But she also gets into deeper conversations with me about who she is. Like she wants me to know the kind of girl that she is and who she is and how she thinks.
Yeah.
And she's a lot smarter and aware than what I imagined. You know what I'm saying? The way she responds to certain situations. And it's just, it gives me reassurance that we're doing a good job with her.
That's good.
You know, but
that's good.
I can't stress this enough. And I think we've mentioned this on several podcasts. You know, the reason why we have this relationship with our kids is because we focus on parenting. We look up books. We listen to books.
And we're always talking to them. We talk to them all the time about everything.
Yes.
You know, just like when you were saying, well, kind of getting back to like you were talking about that book that you guys were reading that book. And you were telling me that you talked to Audrey about the author of the book and what you guys were reading. Like you were saying that it was a good book and it's fine for her to read. But it did seem like some of the content or whatever that she was talking about in the book was a little bit maybe like depressing or dark a little bit.
Right.
And you kind of told Audrey, like, it seems like
she was a lonely girl.
The author was depressed or she was lonely, right?
Girl.
When she was a little girl.
Right.
And just kind of making her aware of where this is where this point of view is coming from. It's coming from a girl who was very lonely, that was depressed. Like, don't let that influence you and how you feel.
Right.
And I also had another conversation, you know, kind of like these conversations that we have with the kids. But I had a conversation kind of about what we're talking about, but I can't remember how it started. But I just told him about like the kid that he is, and you know how he's very loving and he's thoughtful.
You're talking to Joey.
I was
like
talking
you had
to Joey.
A conversation with Joey. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought I said that. But yeah, so I was talking to him, and I was just like, because he's very loving and thoughtful and all that, and I was like, a lot of that has to do with, you know, how we've raised you. Like we're very loving parents. We hug you. We're
affectionate.
You know. Yeah. And I was like, but imagine, like, not everybody grows up like this. I was like, you even know some kids that grow up very differently. Maybe their parents don't pay attention to them. Maybe their parents are abusive. You know, maybe they get hit or whatever. And maybe for some kids that makes them super timid. Or maybe for some kids it makes them really aggressive. I was like, but they're the way they are because of how they're being raised. I was like, so, I mean, sometimes you got to, you know, when you see somebody, you have to understand where some of these things may be coming from.
Right.
You know, and you may not be so different if you grew up like that.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
And that's where the conversation with them, you know, it's ever since they were little, the first thing I would tell them before they would walk out that door is be kind. Like, be kind. Yeah. Above all, be kind. Because you never know what they're going through, what your friend is going through. If you see someone and they're sad, you know, go make them happy. Go, you know, be there for them.
Yeah.
You know, and I tell them this all the time, and I say it all the time anyways, hurt people. You know, kids don't grow up to be angry or to have, you know, just.
There's a reason. There's a reason.
There's a reason. Yeah. There's a reason behind it. And you may not know that, but you can be that ray of sunshine.
Yeah.
You know, like
it's true.
You can be the light.
It is true. Hurt people. You know? And one thing that we wanted to talk about was somebody that hurt somebody else. But before we do that, something that you guys have probably heard about. But before we do that, make sure you guys go to oppositesattractpodcast.com. That's our website. You guys can watch the podcast there. You can listen to it there. You can follow all of our social media there. You'll also see the links to support the show. If you click on the support the show tab, or you click on the menu button, and you'll see the support the show option there. That'll take you to our Amazon link. Anything that you purchase through that link doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps out the show. You guys can also find our merch on Amazon by searching Opposites Attract Podcast. And you also find a link to Trust Inc. And Trust Inc. is?
We are a nationwide mobile notary agency. We do a lot of work for title companies. We do a lot of work for lenders. But if you're in the process of purchasing, selling, or refinancing your home, you can request Trust Inc. to be your signing agency.
Who would they request it to? Their lender? Their real estate agent?
Well, they can real estate agent, their lender.
So just say when I want Trust Inc. to do
or their
to be
title.
my notary.
Yeah. If
for the
at the beginning, if they're like, I already have a signing agent that I would like to request, then they will then speak to their lender, let their lender know. The lender will let their title, because we are hired through title. Is that vodka or water?
Yeah.
So
yeah. You can ask the lender and they'll get it changed for you. So Trust Inc. And you can go to Trust Inc. directly, or they can go to Trust Inc. directly to request us at trustinkusa.com. We're also affiliates with Pinwheel, which is the best smartphone available for kids. And we actually recently, we had a track meet for Audrey. And we were hanging out there, and there was one of Audrey's friends, one of their parents were there, and they got their kid a Pinwheel phone. And it might have been through our link, so thank you. But one of the things that they said that they really liked about the Pinwheel phone was that they can see the text message log.
Yes.
The text message log, the call log. They can see all the interaction between their kid and whoever they're messaging. And whoever they're messaging is somebody that has to be approved by the parent through the parent portal. So you download the parent portal, you can see all the calls. You have to approve all the contacts. You can see all the calls. You can see all the text messages. You can see all the pictures and everything that's going on. And you get to approve all the apps. There's no social media. There's no addictive apps that are going to keep you addicted to the phone and trying to level up and play the next character and get the next skin and get the next weapons, and social media with the likes and trying to keep the streaks alive and all that stuff. So there's none of that. It's only apps that are going to make them more productive, help them learn languages, music, sports, stuff like that. It even has like fitness trackers. I mean, I was checking it out that day, and they've got so many more apps now that are available. So it's really cool. If you guys want to check it out, go to pinwheel.com, use promo code OAPTEN, all together, all in caps, on pinwheel.com. And buy us a coffee.
Yes. So if you would like to buy us a coffee or Miguel a beer, you could go to Buy Me a Coffee.
Yep. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/oppositepod. You guys can do it there. So yeah, we were talking about hurt people, right?
Yes.
And I mean, this is something that it's so big. We're talking about what happened at the Oscars. First of all, have you ever watched the Oscars?
Never.
I don't think I've watched maybe clips of the Oscars, like when you hear something happened or so-and-so did this or whatever happened. It's like, oh, I wonder what happened. But like actually turning on the Oscars one day, like, oh, I'm going to watch the Oscars. Like fucking never.
Not right.
Never.
It's not a thought.
I don't think anybody does that.
I don't know.
Anymore. Unless you're in the entertainment industry or something like that.
And what we're going to talk about, you all probably already have heard.
But you know what? Before we even get into any of that, I want to get because at this point, I think it's kind of hard to give an unaltered opinion, because by this point, and for you guys listening too, everybody has had their opinions influenced by a bunch of other people, right? Because everybody's heard all the different sides to it, and who was right and who was wrong, and who shouldn't have said this and who shouldn't have done that, and whatever, right? But what was when you initially, before you heard anything from anybody's point of view, and you just saw the clip, is that what was the first thing that you saw? Was that it? Was it the clip of what actually happened? Or was it somebody's opinion to what happened?
No, I was on Facebook, and we are talking about the situation that happened between
Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Yes, and Chris Rock. So I was on Facebook, and I'm telling you, it was every other post was about this.
Okay.
So I clicked on the link. I saw it.
So you didn't really know exactly what was, like, somebody got smacked, maybe you knew.
Right. There were all kinds of little memes.
Okay. But you didn't really know what happened.
Someone put the link, and
you
watched it.
And it was the link of just the video.
Yes.
Okay. So when you watched the whole video, what was your immediate thought afterward.
What's wrong? What's going on with Will Smith? Because that was out of character for him. And that's the first thing I'm like, what's going on?
That was the same for me because like I
you
saw
thought it was fake.
At first I thought it was fake. I was like, because
I sent it to Miguel.
Because Will Smith is like that kind of guy. Like for one, like right off the bat, like I'll say I've been a huge fan of Will Smith like ever since I was a little kid. Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I grew up watching that show.
Right.
Every movie that Will Smith has made, like I've seen, like I would say over 90% of his movies. You know, the drama ones, the action ones, like Wild Wild West, Independence Day, the Men in Black, like everything.
Yes.
What was the other one? Bad Boys. I love Bad Boys. I have both of them. Or we watched the last one. We've been fans forever, and he's always and this is also a perfect example of what we talk about when what people put out there on their social media is not always what it seems.
Right.
You know, and that's exactly what I thought when I first saw it. And my first thought, like you say, I was like something like maybe they're not getting ratings and this is fucking staged or whatever. But then when you heard the yelling afterward, I was like, this is kind of weird. Like it's just awkward. This isn't like written.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I thought the same. I was like, damn, like something's wrong with Will Smith. You know, like he's going like he's going through some hard shit right now.
Exactly.
That was my first immediate reaction. And then you have afterward, you start getting everybody else's opinions on, you know, whether Chris Rock should have said something and whether he, you know, maybe he went too far or making fun of, you know, Will Smith's wife and what she has going on with alopecia and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, now that it's been a while, when was the last time you saw it? Because it's been, about a week now?
That was it. I saw it, but I try not to be on social media as often. So I have not been keeping track of what's going on.
Yeah. So I've seen some people's reactions to it or like their thoughts on it. But as far as like the actual slap, like I've seen it a couple of times. But let's take a look at it, especially since you haven't seen it since then. And we can just kind of go from the very beginning, from before he slapped him, and we'll check it out.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada,
So nothing crazy.
G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
So, Will Smith, he's hoping that Will Smith wins.
Right.
Right? Has nothing to do with anything. He's like that's even like hopefully Will Smith wins this Oscar.
Right.
Jada, I love you. Can't wait to see G.I. Jane 2. That was the joke.
And Will Smith is laughing.
That was a nice one. Okay.
Dude. And for a comedian, that was a nice one. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. We go see a lot of comedians, and we've heard comedians destroy people.
Right.
And for one, G.I. Jane, if I remember correctly, at that time, I remember G.I. Jane coming out back in the day. Demi Moore was hot back then. Like that
She's
was
still hot. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, no, she still is. But I'm saying back then, like everybody for her, that role in that movie,
right?
Everybody was like, damn, do you see how she looks in that role?
Right.
Like that's almost like even a
compliment.
Yeah, like I know with the hair and all that, but she has alopecia. She's Jada Smith, like Jada Pinkett Smith. She has alopecia. She's going bald. It's not something that's painful. She's not dying from it. I was thinking even like Audrey. She has celiac disease where she can't eat gluten. Celiac disease sounds really bad. Or any kind of disease sounds bad. But when you find out that celiac disease means that if you eat gluten, it messes up your intestines, so she can't eat gluten. So she has to be gluten-free.
Right.
So it's like if somebody made fun of somebody for being gluten-free. I mean, or maybe not, but
I disagree just because as a woman,
yeah,
to lose your hair, that is a very, very sensitive subject.
I could get that.
And she may be, going through some things. Only he sees what's happening behind closed doors. He is feeling her pain behind closed doors. And I did see a clip because once I saw what had happened, I started looking things up, and his wife did a short video on what she was going through, the hair loss. Yes. The hair loss. And she just wanted to put it out there so that people are aware of what's happening to her. And you're not going to express exactly what is happening within you and how how she's feeling insecure, even though she is an absolutely beautiful woman with hair, without hair. But no one can understand what she's going through but her or another woman who has that same
and also in an industry like entertainment in Hollywood, where so much has to do with your looks.
That's right.
And all that.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that. Now, did you actually see the video that she put out?
Yes, I did.
Now, was she like telling people to own it and all that? Because I'm just kind of saying.
No, she wasn't.
Like I heard, I haven't seen anything. I don't know if it's true or not, but I also heard where she was like telling people like, hey, don't be ashamed. Like you own it. You're beautiful no matter what, this and that. And I'm just saying, if that is the message that you're putting out, when somebody's cracking a joke and you rolling your eyes and making this whole, it's like, well, you were just telling people to own it. Like, own it. Listen, you're at an award show. This is Chris Rock.
Right.
Like if me and you go to a comedy show, and that's the thing is that Chris Rock is a professional comedian that got hired by the Oscars. That is what they do. Right. Entertainers, when they go to an award show, you should know that you're going to get roasted. Will Smith and Jada were not anybody special. He was going to roast everybody in there.
Right. And I mean, they are sitting front and center.
Like if we go to a comedy show and me and you get sat in the front and all of a sudden the comedian locks eyes with you, or you make a funny laugh or something and it's all of a sudden like, woof, what was that? And they start fucking lighting you up. Like, am I going to be, don't talk about my wife. Keep my fucking wife's name. Like that's ridiculous. What? You expect me to go up there and start throwing punches at the fucking...
No, but I don't know. Like, I can feel maybe the pain that she's in. And listen, I'm sure if he could do it over again...
Can't wait to see it.
I know. But they were probably going through some things. And that was just one... I don't know how much they've been going through regarding this.
Okay, but...
I understand both. I understand. I mean, Chris Rock, great guy.
You understand.
I do.
But let's take a look at the rest of it so you can see how Will Smith goes up there and walks away. Okay? Let's take a look.
Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Now that's hard for me to see because I like Chris Rock.
I like both of them.
I like both of them.
I'm a huge
and it's
fan
hard,
of Will Smith.
yeah, and it's hard to see that because that is not his character. Like that is not who Will Smith is.
Now look.
So when he does that, I'm like, ooh, I'm feeling both their pain at the same time.
So for somebody like me or people that like are into fighting and stuff like that, it's funny because when I watch it, I'm like, you clearly like you pick up on like, I don't know if you would call it weight classes or whatever, but it's like Will Smith's way bigger than Chris Rock. Like when he's walking up there, I'm like, damn, Will's way bigger than Chris Rock. And then I looked it up and I'm like, oh yeah, he's way out of his weight class. He's like 2 or 3 levels above him. But I don't know in what world you think that you're going to walk up to a guy, slap him, turn your back, and just walk. Like Will Smith was walking away cool as fuck. Did you see it? His fucking jacket was open. He was gliding off the fucking stage almost. You know what I mean? I don't know in what world you think. And why didn't he punch him? If he disrespected his wife, why didn't he punch him? If it's that fucking serious. It's because Chris Rock is smaller. Like we've heard this before, right? He's not doing that to somebody else, to somebody way bigger than him. He's not doing it if The Rock is hosting the Oscars, right? You're not walking up there and slapping The Rock and turning your back on The Rock and walking and gliding off the stage, right? And that just kind of goes to show the stuff that like that kind of lead into it. You know, the mindset that, I don't know, people think no matter what, it's not okay for him to just, he said something, a mild joke, and maybe it was not good taste, but you still don't get to walk up there and slap Chris Rock. You know what I mean? Is that defendable?
No, I don't think he was in the right to do what he did.
So Chris Rock shouldn't have said that joke.
No, I think that no. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that I feel like Will Smith, like I said, if he could do it all over again, he probably would not do what he did.
First of all, he was laughing. He was laughing at first. And then he went up and slapped him.
Yeah.
The only person that wasn't laughing was Jada. And there's a lot of people talking about Will Smith and not talking about Jada. They're in a relationship together. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing, is that we were talking about how things aren't what they seem. You know, like, because Will Smith, you look at his channel, like we follow him. Mm-hmm. And he'll put out like it's all positive stuff and happy things and this and that. And it's not always, obviously, it's not what it seems. And
well, no, everybody goes through their ups and downs.
I know, but it's not something that you expect from somebody like Will Smith, because he's a celebrity and he's in the public eye and he puts so much of his life out there. You know what I mean? I guess kind of like us, we're just not celebrities. But yeah, you can, I don't know, it's just, it's tough, because the things that were private because of what happened, now everything is just out for everybody. Like everybody's like, oh, well, it's because of this and this and this. And now, you know how much fucking harder, like I feel bad. I feel bad for Will Smith now. Mm-hmm. You know, like after everything that happened, all the things that he was going through that he probably didn't want people talking about, guess what's the only thing everybody's talking about now?
Yeah.
The reason that he smacked Will Smith is because of this and this
because
and
he
this
smacked
and this.
Chris Rock. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the reason, you know, and I feel bad all the way around. Like the whole situation.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, because I like both of them. And like you never know what's happening behind closed doors. And I don't feel that it was right at all. I think it was just the heat of the moment. He allowed his emotions to get the best of him. Like I said, if Will Smith, if he could redo it, he would not make the same decision.
Yeah. You know, one thing that I was thinking right when it happened, like I was like, well, if I didn't like a joke, well, first of all, it's got to be a certain type of joke, like a clearly disrespectful. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. That's not a fucking joke that I'm going to go up to somebody and say something about.
Yeah.
You know, but somebody could say something that is just crosses the line, is like super disrespectful, that I might want to go and say something. I mean, yeah, there are no things like words. Like people are like, well, there's no reason you shouldn't say anything, whatever. No, sometimes, especially if they know you, they can say something that would really drive you fucking nuts. I don't think that's going to happen at a comedy show. So, but I had a situation one time with somebody from work that would say something about you. And what I was thinking when this whole thing happened with Chris Rock and Will Smith was like, if it was me, I probably would have waited. Like they have breaks or whatever, and they have backstage. Mm-hmm. If I knew that I was going to sit in the front row and Chris Rock is going to see me and he's probably going to say something, I'd probably be like, hey, you know, or after the joke, be like, hey, I appreciate it. Just stop. Like, I don't like the jokes. And as a comedian, they could be like, all right, cool. Move on. I'll fucking make fun of, there's, 50 other people in the front row or however many. But you handle it aside, not in the middle while the fucking show is live, walking up there and slapping somebody. I had a friend of mine that used to say some shit about you, and it was one of those people that, I mean, I think everybody knows somebody that they say shit that they cross the line. It's not that they're a bad person. It's just that nobody ever really says anything to them, I think. Mm-hmm. And they would say something, and I told them one time, like, hey, like, I don't like that. That's not cool. And that was it. Mm-hmm. And then they said something again. And then I pulled them to the side and I'm like, hey, I already told you. That's not like, but the thing is that they're saying something. Mm-hmm. So I'm pulling them aside and I'm saying something to them. It's not like they say something and I'm like, keep my fucking boom and just fucking slap the shit out of them. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
But you're different because you told me what he was talking about.
Which is more disrespectful. Way more disrespectful than G.I. Jane 2. Can't wait to see it.
A lot of guys probably would have taken it to, you're not jealous. You're different. You're not jealous.
Okay, this is the other thing. What was my friend's intentions?
He was joking around.
He was joking around. So is it okay? Or
maybe he was checking to see if we have an open marriage.
That was fucking good.
Right?
That was good. That was a good way to bring it back. But yeah, you know what? But that, like, I'm friends with him still. And he doesn't joke around about it today. What was Chris Rock's intentions in that whole thing? Was he trying to disrespect Jada?
He wasn't trying to be malicious. He was.
And that's what kind of lets you know that Will's got a lot of shit going on in his life.
Yeah.
And that's why it makes me more sad than anything.
Could you
that
imagine,
all his stuff is just out there now?
Being in his shoes.
Waking up the next day? Could you imagine fucking waking up the next day?
What I'm saying is your life is an open book. Like you and I, we do this podcast, right? We open up our lives to our listeners, but we're not famous yet. No. But could you imagine? Like, they are in the limelight all the time. They have paparazzi, I'm sure, following them non-stop. They have no privacy.
Yeah.
That would be so hard to deal with.
I think that's a good way to go out, because I remember I've talked to you about this with football players, with a lot of people. Yes. And it's not like celebrities need our sympathy and all that kind of shit. Like, they're doing fine, whatever, fuck them. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of people feel that way. Like, sometimes I see the paparazzi, like you see them on fucking chasing them through the airport and shit like that. I'm like, dude, that's got to be annoying as fuck. Yes. Just because you decided that you wanted to be an actor or you wanted to play basketball, like that was your fucking dream as a little kid, and now motherfuckers get to stick cameras in your face everywhere you go, and you just got to fucking not punch them.
And you have a family.
And they're taking pictures over your bushes when you're stepping out of cars, when you're trying to go to dinner.
Yes.
I mean, they live a pretty great life. They don't need our sympathy, but man, just have a little empathy sometimes, right?
Right.
I can't imagine living that life. Like for me, could you imagine me? I'd be fucking punching people when they fucking getting out of my car. I'm like, wham, get the fuck out of here.
No.
Yeah, like last paparazzi got choked.
Out. No.
That's why I got to be harder to kill. I got to get back in jiu-jitsu.
Oh my gosh.
And with that, thank you guys for being with us. Make sure you guys go to oppositesattractpodcast.com. Share it with your friends. If you guys want to leave us a message, you can call us at 480-331-9846.
Thank you all for your love. Thank you for your support. And thank you for watching Opposites Attract Podcast,
where we get better
together.
Bye.